that our awe for the founders, our sense of their nobility and the grandeur of their ideas can sometimes mask what the true effects of the Constitution might have been. In particular, he says that we should analyze the Constitution through its economic rather than its political methods. And I just wondered about your thoughts on that.
Well, I knew Howard Zinn. I liked him very much, and I agreed with much that he professed, but I don't agree with everything he professed. I think it's important to take an economic interpretation of lots about life and history, but I would not make it dominant any more than I would else that history is composed of. I think it's a great mistake to see the founders as godlike characters. They were human beings. There isn't one of them that didn't have his failings or faults, some of them grievous failings and faults. And they were inconsistent. To say that they were all devout Christians, for example, is not true. Now, some were very devout, some were middle devout, some were hardly devout, and some were agnostics, and they were human beings, and they had ideas. Now, one reason I like John Adams so much is that John Adams is the only founding father who never owned a slave as a matter of principle. So when we professed all men are created equal, who are we kidding? And Adams and Jefferson were not participants in the Constitution, but the Constitution, which was done in Philadelphia in the summer of 1787, was in many ways an extraordinary and immortal achievement. But much of it was simply derived out of English tradition, English history, and some of it was grievously avoiding the issue. It's very interesting. We're raised, educated that the Articles of Confederation were inadequate, weak, that didn't give us a strong executive, etc., etc. But let's not forget that every time you have a winner, you shouldn't throw away what came in second, because sometimes what came in second was in some ways superior what came in first. The Article of Confederation, after all, as inadequate as it really was, succeeded in winning the Revolutionary War. Also, the same summer as the Constitution, 1787, the Congress, under the Articles of Confederation, passed the Northwest Ordinance, which created the 5 great states of the upper Middle West: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. 5 states that composed an area bigger than all of France. Hugely important part of our country, always, ever since. That charter, that law, passed by that supposedly inadequate Congress, did 2 things that neither of which the Constitution did. 1, it said there will be public education. 2, there will be no slavery. In other words, we had banned slavery in this huge part of the United States before we even wrote the Constitution. And that's the kind of thing I wish were better known and more appreciated, because the people who did that really pulled off something magnificent and brave.
Dude, man, this game's bullshit. Yeah, just like if you're banging down here, it's